maybe Karan, if you could talk about one or two things that have really helped you to retain, and probably the KPI that always look at is product per customer. I don't know if that's relevant in the business that currently you are in, but maybe a CLTV maximization. How do you think about it, Karan? If you can weigh in with your thoughts.
Yeah. No, I think it's relevant to any business. Over 20 years, I've worked across categories, and I must confess that across most categories, I think that's been one of the biggest concerns that we've had. Because at one level, there is about the discussion about acquisition of customers, and the other level is about retention and about maximization of whatever value that can be maximized, going forward. One of the reasons I called Anjum a rockstar was because when Anjum was at Easyrewardz, and she still is, and I was at Fab India a couple of years ago, we created what was Fab India's first loyalty and rewards management program, right? And Anjum and her team, and no, I'm not pitching for Anjum to get any business here at all, but it just so happens that I deeply appreciate and respect the work that she'd done when I was the CMO at Fab India.
Anjum, you've been extremely patient. I must compliment you for that. But I would love to know your thoughts on this in terms of how you're working back with your partners to improve the stickability part of it. And before you kind of respond to the listeners or the audience which is out there, we might be extending actually by about maybe 7 or 8 minutes, 12:40 tops. So maybe just stay patient and stay put for another maybe 8 to 9 minutes, please. Anjum, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Naren, and thank you, Karan, for a warm onboarding to this panel. So I want to quickly just touch upon all the things that have been said by various panelists, and I've worked very closely with Karan in shaping the Fab India loyalty program. And some of the things that I want to talk about as basics is when we talk of digitization, we look at digital economy and companies which are already online. This comes as a basic factor of the business. But when you look at a lot of businesses which are offline, the whole idea of starting a loyalty program was to give something to the customer so that there's an incentive for the customer to leave their footprint, who they are. Otherwise, there was no way of knowing who's done what. Business would anyway happen. So like Karan answered, the what we would know, but we wouldn't know the why till we crack the customer's persona. Now, looking at that, we all remember the childhood trips to the neighborhood confectioner or the fruit wala, with our dads. What would that be like? The guy would exactly know what variety of mango goes to your house. He would know what is your favorite flavor of ice cream. And Guria, it's not available today. I'll get it sent home. Now, for retail or for any other brand, creating this magic at scale cannot happen unless there is investment in data and digitization, because you want to create this experience seamlessly across channels. We all want to create this magic, and in the process of doing so, of course, the CMOs are at the helm of owning customer experience, and which is why there's been a lot of investment in customer data platforms, because we want to cut the silos. A story I would like to cite on this, Naren, is we all have heard of the elephant and the blind men, and whosoever caught on to whichever part, it became a rope or a tail or a pillow. But actually the holistic piece is an elephant, which a lot of us tend to miss. And which is why when I am talking to brands today and I'm looking at what CRM solution, apart from a loyalty and reward, what would make the piece complete for the brand and for the customer is also understanding the sentiment. A bit of the why, like Karan said, can be explored from the data, but it's important to talk to your consumer. And I rightly, try and tell people that while you have a sales scorecard, your future sale KPI is your NPS score. So when we talk of programs, we always talk about try and read what your customer is saying about you. So for example, you may have two high value customers, one, and they both have spent, let's say, lakh with you over the year. And one customer speaks well about you and, rates you well, very highly to recommend. And there's a customer who's extremely disappointed. Your actionables will change. If you were to only look at what the customer spent with you, your actionable would have been very alike. So what happens with the consumer program? It wields a soft power with the customer. and the extensions of this to make consumer a stakeholder in your decision process. A lot of leading brands, including Fab India, Bata, we work very closely with Levi's, they all use this to understand from their customer what they want, whether it's about styling the latest designs, the pricing, and reaching out to where the customer is. I hope I've addressed some part of Naren, what you had put in front of me.
Yeah, no, thanks so much. Thanks, that's really appreciate. And maybe one rapid fire is in order, probably for all 6 of you on this call. And I'll probably go with Naval, you first. And same question, just limited to maybe one phrase or not more than maybe 5-10 seconds. If you guys can. There are a lot of trends which are going around in every business and every discipline, right? And in marketing also, we see a lot of trends shaping, some dying their natural death, some really becoming very big. So if you have to kind of do a little bit of that, the crystal ball gazing as such, what you believe will be one trend which will really unravel in the foreseeable future? What would that be? Naval, if you could start with you.
I'll just use 2 words. One, of course, is the experience, and second, the personalization with the kind of scale that we are dealing with. So the ability to deliver at the right point, in fact, every point, and in the context of the journey, I think is the trend that consumers are expecting.
Okay, thank you. Siddharth?
Digitization to empower personalization, I think is what I'd hang my hat on.
Right, Sonia?
I would say omni-channel commerce, buying any touch point available, digital or offline, seamlessly.
Channel. Okay, Karan?
Voice. Somebody touched upon that earlier.
Yeah.
There is that many more people who can respond and interact with voice-based communication and marketing programs, and that's highly under leveraged as we stand today. So for me, that's the next big thing to crack.
Okay, Ashish?
So mine were also 3 V's: voice, video, and vernacular. I think this is certainly due to take over the industry.
Got it. And Anjum?
Access. It's very important for customer to have access to whatever is being offered to him or her. That access is very important.
Sure. No, I think fabulous. I think these are some probably key takeaways, guys, for all the listeners and audiences which have been extremely patient on this call for the last few, a little over an hour. But thank you very much, fellow panelists. Really appreciate you being here, spending the time that you have, and sharing your thoughts and perspective. They have been very valuable to me, and I'm sure the same for the audience as well.